I wanted to make a video about table manners. How can we keep the doodles still on the table and our heart rate on normal level, making sure that everyone is comfy. So there are a few rules I really like to implement while I groom dogs. One is I really want to make sure that the doodle is comfortable on the table. So in case you can move the table down and get the doggy jump up, that's great. In case you need to lift the doggy up because your table is not moving up and down, that's also awesome. Just make sure that the doggy is comfortable meanwhile and train them in case they need to be trained to get used to that. That's going to be a separate training video, tutorial video. After that, I wanted to include this section of the table. I really like to keep about 2-inch edges all around the table, which are red flags. The doggy should not touch those with the paws. We really want to keep them mostly on the black surface. That means that we're gonna get enough time and space to work with the dog in case they are showing signs to jump off. In case we leave them there and they are showing signs, it's gonna be already late. Plus, the surface here is slippery, so they're not gonna be able to get a good grip, and then that's gonna be prone to injuries. So on your side and on the doggy side as well, because whenever you're moving in a sudden direction, it can hurt you, especially on a bigger doggy. Hold on. Another thing, what I'm already doing is whenever you're spending some more extensive time talking or doing something you really need to do, like getting an object or something. Mia, do you want to go sit? Sit. Sit, sit. Very nice. I keep one hand on the doodle constantly. The reason for that is with that, I can make sure that I'm catching on, especially when I need to move my attention somewhere else. I'm catching the doggy's body language, whether she wants to go or stay. It's super important to prevent injuries. Many people ask me, how can you groom your doodle or any doodle here on the table without grooming loops and harnesses and all kinds of stuff? It's because first I eliminated all the distractions from the environment around. And second, that I have rules which I follow and that will help me to keep the doodle comfortable and safe. Another thing what I wanted to talk about is your body posture. It's not like the table manners, what the doggy should do, but also what you should do. Mia, do you want to go sit? Do you want to go sit? So another thing, very nice. Another thing to keep in mind that the way you are moving, you are either encouraging the doggy to stay or to move with you. So whenever you are standing, like I'm standing right now, facing the doggy with full body, then the doggy will more likely to stay there. Nice, nice, nice. Whenever you are moving, just showing you how it's done, whenever you're not touching the dog and you are moving away, then the dog will just jump off, especially when you don't say stay there. So it's very, very important. Great job, sweetie. Yes, you showed them. Awesome. So it's very important to keep yourself facing to the table and the dog. And that way you can keep the doggy still. Again, we need a calm environment. So it's not going to happen in an environment when there are hundreds of dogs running around or even one. Because the doodle is a breed with very high drives in them, and they are very reactive to distraction. Even also for treats and also for other moving people, dogs, objects, anything. So they will react and they will suddenly react. So what is an advantage whenever we want them to sit and they are go like sit like bam, right there. That's a disadvantage whenever we are talking about keeping them in one spot, because in case we do something teeny tiny, then they will react. And I think this is one reason, or these are a few reasons why grooming doodles is amazing and magical, because you really need skills to keep them still. Another thing I wanted to, she's checking out all the corners for dust bunnies, doggy hair dust bunnies, huh? So another thing I wanted to tell you is getting your doodle comfortable for specific situations, like all the grooming steps, which is one step is jumping on the table. You can totally practice that separately. Like that's one task. That today we're gonna practice how to jump up on a table. In case you're working on a table which is elevating, I highly recommend to get your doodle into a parking lot when there's elevators, and then get her or him used to the sensation of, oh my goodness, the ground is moving up and down. With that, whenever your doodle is going to go to the groomer, or whenever you're going to groom him or her on your moving table, she's going to have the experience to keep herself comfortable, and you are going to be having much easier time keeping her or him comfortable for the moving part. So it's very, very important to practice those little steps before we are putting everything together and expecting all of that just clicking and the doggy magically behaving. It's not happens like that. We need to practice those tiny steps to keep the doggy stay. And I'm super happy that you are hanging out around me. That means you really like what's happening. It's been on for quite a while, I know, but you are still liking it, huh? That's amazing. Yes. And this is what tells me to pay attention and take the time with grooming, that whenever she's a regular client, and whenever I'm grooming her, I'm taking the time to listen to her signs, her body language. Whenever she's telling me like, hey, you found a Tangler mat there, I take the time to open it up gently. In case it's a stubborn one, I just cut it out. I'm not using dematting rakes and things like that, because that's just gonna ruin your relationship with your dog and the dog's relationship with grooming. So keeping all that in mind, you're gonna have much, much better results in case you're listening to all those signs the dog is telling you.